What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and yeah, look at this news right here, man. This might be one of those situations where we got to give Amazon some credit finally for once. New rumor claims Prime Video to completely reboot The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power after creatively bankrupt first season. Yeah, saying it's creatively bankrupt is awfully generous, man, because this thing was absolute trash, man. From beginning to end, the entire series, all the conversation that was coming out about this thing, all the comments from the staff, comments from the cast, comments from the showrunners, everything that people were trying to do to gaslight us into believing that this thing was absolutely successful and it was good. I'm gonna absolutely love that this thing just falls flat on its face and they just like, you know what, pull the plug, reboot the whole thing, trash, fire everybody. Man, I am telling you, man. You want to talk about laughter, okay? You want to talk about just giddy, exciting laughter. You're going to get that on the video. I'm not kidding you. If this thing is true, if this rumor is true, holy smokes, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But let's go ahead and check this thing out. Just the fact that this is being discussed is just hilarious, man. They're going to have to pull the plug on this whole piece of shit, and I am here for it. All right, so let's see what's going on. So it says, you know, new rumors claims that Prime Video will be completely rebooting The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, following the creatively bankrupt first season, which chose to throw out Tolkien and replace it with intersectional feminism. The most bizarre choice that I've ever seen a major franchise take, and I've seen a lot. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, they've all made some just curious choices, some dumb choices, some like great choices in some cases, and just some that just leave you scratching your head. But this is one that was just like mind-boggling, like why? You know, who were you making this show for? Unbelievable. Now, the rumor comes from somebody you guys might know, Gary from Nerdrotic. I'm sure you watch his channel. I do as well. We have heard the rumors from my man Chris Gore that the showrunners might end up being Fall Guys. Look, man, it ain't the showrunners 100%, man. A lot of this goes to Amazon and those producers, all of those people. That Salky chick, a lot of it goes to her too, okay? She could try to be like, oh, no, it's all them. Nah, chick, it was you too. You was the one backing this stuff up. Bezos, all of y'all. You guys were making lots and lots of comments out there in the media backing and supporting these guys. Yeah, a lot of this falls on you. And we might have to wait till after awards season to see if it actually happens. Nah, just do it now. What are we waiting for? Okay? You're not going to win any awards off of this show. Are you kidding me? Thing's 39% on Rotten Tomatoes. Man, nah, they got to pull the plug as soon as possible. He then adds, I also heard that they're going to go on for a full-on reboot with these series and try to pretend that the last 2 months didn't happen. Good luck with that one, boy. Yeah, man, we ain't gonna let y'all forget none of this crap. I'm not letting these guys get off the hook with that. Hell no. Nah, we still making all kind of comments and videos. You can better believe that. Roll out the publicity, maybe roll out some influencers and try to get people to binge the Rings of Power. Binge the Rings of Power? Why would anybody want to binge this thing? Good luck. Yep, and good luck indeed. Beekler went on and say, and to add to that, what if I told you that the Rings of Power did not start this way? It was never meant to be a woke intersectional disaster. It didn't have not Gandalf. It didn't have repurposed hobbits. It didn't have Halbrand as Sauron. And it didn't have Warrior Galadriel. Well, yeah. I mean, if you sit back and think about it, why would it have any of this stuff, okay? The guy that they fired at the beginning, remember this thing? Tom Shippey is out at Amazon, right? The Tolkien scholar, okay? And well-respected. Now this guy was fired. You think this guy would have came onto the project in the first place if it was doing all of the nonsense that ended up in this show? Of course not. It didn't start out this way. This guy never would have joined the project. He would have been like, hey, man, what the hell am I reading here? Who wrote this? Oh, man, come on, guys. We got to go back to the books. This is getting out of hand. What are you guys doing? No. This man never would have joined in the first place. He would have looked at that script and read them dudes the riot act, okay? That's why he quit. He got out of there. He says, oh, no. This ain't for me. This ain't nothing I want to be a part of. Y'all not putting my name on it. Forget I even came here, man. Erase my name off the list. Get rid of my number. I'm done. Okay, you know what I'm saying? This dude was like, I'm not having this. Are you kidding me? So, yeah, absolutely, this thing did not start off as some kind of nonsense. This guy never would have joined. What if I told you this show was usurped by people like Lindsay Weber and Jennifer Salke? I would 100% believe that, okay? Like a lot of the stuff that happened in this show felt corporate. It didn't feel like a creative choice. It felt like a corporate choice. Like somebody trying to adhere to an agenda or an ideology, somebody trying to push something. And generally speaking, even though there's a lot of stupid creatives out there, okay, that do this kind of crap, all right? That stuff is corporate, okay? We have a corporate message. We're trying to send a corporate message, and we're trying to push all of this stuff through our ideology, okay? Through things that we think, all right? And a lot of creatives would say, yeah, let's just kind of stick with Tolkien and we'll do the best job we can. So yeah, I still blame the showrunners who didn't know a damn thing about Tolkien and didn't, put their foot down or walk off the project like Tom Shippey did. You just walk off the project. You don't butcher Tolkien. I mean, come on, guys. But nevertheless, absolutely, I believe that these chicks is at the back of it all. And what if I told you that the fan attacks came from up top? Yep, I believe that too. More on that in my next Rings of Power video he teased. Can't wait to watch it, Gary. Bolstering the rumors he heard that Prime Video will reboot the series moving forward, he speculated the show will see massive viewer fall off in the second season. Didn't need to be this way. I think we'd all love to be rooting for a good Lord of the Rings show, but that is not what this is. Right. Like, even people that aren't necessarily like dyed in the wolves Tolkien fans, even those guys, they were like, you know what? I like the original trilogy by Peter Jackson, okay? The Lords of the Ring trilogy. I like that. I really enjoyed that. I like Middle-earth and that world. I want to see how these rings got forged. Yeah, this is an interesting story, like that little part that they showed at the beginning of Fellowship. Oh, are they going to kind of stretch that out and give us the whole story of that? Hey, that would be an interesting story. That's what we were promised, right? And instead, we just get nonsense, absolute woke crap. And it's just like, golly, guys, come on, man. That's what we wanted. People were rooting for that. And we didn't get it. So yeah, if they decide to just, hey man, we got to pull the plug, we got to just fire all of these chumps and go and make a real series, I think most people, even people like myself who have just been dogging and ragging on this thing from day one, I think even we would be say, hey, all right, cool, give us a good show. We just want good entertainment. That's it. This is an Amazon product and it has very little chance of succeeding with the same people after 2 years. It's not going to succeed at all, okay? If they keep going this direction, it's not going to succeed. They got to retool this entire show. And it's hard to do that after one season. You kind of have to pull the plug, okay? You got to have to pull the plug and just say, hey, look, let's get rid of everybody, clear the decks, scrub it all down, and let's move forward. Says, I'm guessing you're going to lose half your audience in the first episode of season 2, and it's just going to go down from there, he speculated. I'm guessing you're going to end up a lot like Westworld, which just so happens to be another bad reboot product that got canceled, except the big difference is Westworld had a good first season. Yeah, it really did. And yeah, after that season 2, I was like, nope. I haven't checked Westworld out since. You might have had a chance if you just had a normal bad show, didn't attack the fans, but you did, and now you're going to suffer the consequences of the perfect failure because that's what this is. The one thing Amazon did right was everything wrong. Bigler's claim of rebooting the series moving forward echoes what Film Threat founder and industry insider Chris Gord said during an appearance on Midnight's Edge in the morning. Yeah, I heard from someone who has a connection that if you want to know that effectively they're going to be retooling and that J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay are more than likely, they're not going to be publicly fired, but their role will be reduced. You guys know what I've already been talking about, okay? These guys are going to be on the sandwiches and the soda brigade, okay? They're going to be, hey, I need a soda, I need a sandwich. That's where you're going to these guys. I wouldn't let them anywhere in the writer's room. I wouldn't even allow them to talk, okay? Except, hey, do you want mustard at this time? Or did you just want it plain mayo? Did you want lettuce? What you want? That's the only thing they can say in the room, okay? That's the only time they are allowed to speak. Potentially just remaining in the writer's room. I wouldn't even allow that. But my understanding, they're looking for more experienced showrunners. Man, it still blows my mind that they did not get experienced showrunners to run this particular show that cost them $1 billion. You spent $250 million to get the rights, and then you allow Heckle and Jekyll to come in here and just make whatever, okay? But again, a lot of this stuff, in my opinion, it came from on high. It came from the top down, because I think if these guys had this Tolkien scholar in the room, there's no way in the world they could have made this unless some corporate suit decided, hey, we need to do it this way. What are you guys doing making a real show? We got to promote wokeness. We got to promote agendas and ideologies. We got to push all this feminism in your face. That's the only way I see that this thing ever got made in this fashion. They're well aware of the problems. They're sort of like publicly what they say and what they're actually doing behind the scenes. And what they're doing behind the scenes is freaking out, as this was more of a failure than they could have anticipated. We anticipated this. And remember, I talked about this. I've been talking about this. I'll link one of my videos up there. You guys can check out what I've already said on the matter. But yeah, this was going to be a failure from day one, just based on what they were doing with it. We saw it coming a mile away. We saw it with the trailers. We saw it with all the comments that were coming out from the cast and the crew. And, you know, they just completely botched it, okay? They completely botched it. And what I really want, what I really, really want is for all of this failure that's happening with this show and all the other shows that are getting dog walked all over social media, I want this to be a lesson to the higher ups out there in entertainment. And I know it's wishful thinking. You're saying, DA, that's wishful thinking. I get it, okay? I know that's wishful thinking. But at the end of the day, that's what I think needs to happen in order for these guys to get their heads wrapped around the right types of things. Telling good stories, listening to the fans. Look at the success that Warner Brothers is having right now. I know that, you know, even though Black Adam may or may not make its money back, you have to figure that the folks down there at Warner Brothers are at least happy that the fans are engaged and they're interested and they're happy and they're giving it glowing reviews. We can fix the stuff that was wrong with the film, but the fans are on our side and they're not just writing us off and saying this is woke garbage, get it out of here. And that's what Amazon and Star Wars and Marvel and everybody else, that's what they need to learn. Hey, give the fans what they want. You won't go wrong. I thought this was important too. The direct competition from House of the Dragon. Yeah, it's like, you know, everybody, they didn't want to compete with House of the Dragon. We saw a couple of articles about that early on where McKay and Payne, they were like, don't talk to us about House of the Dragon. Because they kind of knew it's like, man, you guys are going to get measured up against this thing. And the fact that these two were kind of running concurrently back and forth with each other, that had to hurt, man. That had to just be the icing on the cake. Okay, everybody's praising House of the Dragon, loving House of the Dragon. This thing is getting slammed day in, day out. They had to make them upset. So basically they're saying, yeah, we're going to wait till after award season to see if they win anything. This thing can't possibly win anything. Maybe costume design or something like that. Sidelining them would spike any considerations in all categories. Yeah, it should. I mean, they shouldn't be considered for anything. This thing should just get completely washed out. Hey, we made it. We spent a lot of money on it. Really not going to get anything out of this, but shame and ridicule. We're done. Let's just move on to the next. And these guys said, you know, we had learned lessons from season 1 that will apply in season 2. As far as I'm concerned, season 2 is already a loss. All right, because you got the same guys running it. They just need to pull the plug and move on and just call it a wrap. Hey, man, we blew it. We messed up. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. And that's what Amazon's about to do. But anyway, folks, what do you think about this situation? Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to laugh my gut. I'm going to break ribs and all kind of stuff laughing once the news finally comes out that these bozos who sat up here and talked all this trash about the fans, calling everybody racist and toxic and everything like that. I cannot wait until they are given their walking papers. This is going to be awesome. Go ahead. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.